Hi guys and welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. We're starting off with just me and Nicole from the Ladies in Red, but do not worry, Meg is on her way. She's late as usual. We're used to it, aren't we, Nick? Nick, how are you doing? How are you doing, firstly?
I'm all right. I'm all right. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, won't you? So I'm just plodding on. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm shattered, absolutely shattered. I've just literally walked in from football, as I just mentioned to you off camera. So I am tired, but I'm good. Looking forward to the Champions League final, and we'll predict that in a bit. Oh, Meg is finally joining us. It seems.
Wait.
Here she is. Here she is. Hi, Meg. How you doing?
Hello, Chica.
I'm in. I apologise, everybody. I'm really sorry, but I am here.
It's all good, Meg.
I feel like I'm out of breath. I just ran up the stairs. How bad's that?
And she plays football, guys, by the way. No, but I think we've got obviously not a lot of football to talk about, but a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to start with the whole Harry Maguire mess, Harry Maguire madness, whatever you want to call it. Something's obviously happened. Harry Maguire's been taken into police custody. He's now been allowed out. I believe it could be on bail. But, I mean, everything at the moment is all hearsay, isn't it? There isn't no proven facts about what's happened. And I think that until we do get facts, I think it's hard to slate Harry for what he's done. I'm obviously not commending the fact he's a police officer or whatever has been uttered, but we don't know the context. It doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to randomly attack someone physically. So something's obviously provoked him. But Nicole, I've seen a few of your tweets defending Harry Maguire after this has happened. I mean, what's your take on it?
I think with any of these situations, to me, it's always don't judge first, see the context of the situation first. I see so many people like, oh, get him out of my club. Debates about his captaincy like we was just discussing about. But I think it's more about, to me personally, I don't know him myself, but to me personally, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who just goes around whacking police officers, bless him. He can't even get his head to the bar half the time, bless his heart. But like I said, I think context is everything. I think you have to have a joke and a laugh about the fact that we've had more arrests and signings, because if we don't, I think we'll all have a breakdown. But I think, like, there's lots of rumours going around his sister. If them stories are true, I completely understand it. I don't condone it. I don't condone violence to police officers, obviously. But I think the main thing at the end of the day we always have to remember is that footballers are human beings. And as humans, we make mistakes. And we should only judge once we know the facts. And then let any decisions come from there.
Yeah, I think screaming for him to be sold, people obviously forget what Cantona did, for example. I don't think he should be sold, but the captaincy is an interesting one because he needs to be a role model. And as the dog said there, Bruno is what a lot of people feel should happen. I mean, Meg, what's your take on it? Do you think that he should lose his captaincy because of this?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I thought that, I put out there that I need to remind people that he's not the first footballer, the first Man United player, the first Manchester United captain to be arrested. I got loads of stick about, but he hit a police officer. And I'm not saying that I defend what he's done. I didn't obviously know the full story at the time. But people were really quick to put like a personal twist on it, an attack on it. And I thought it was dead out of order, like I said, because I think other players haven't had that grief. So if you're going to, all of a sudden you can start hating Roy Keane because he got arrested. You can start hating Wayne Rooney because he was arrested. Cantona roundhouse kicked a fan in the face.
Oosh.
So, yeah. But I have seen so many tweets about Bruno for captaincy, and it is about being a role model. It is about setting the expectations that all the other players follow. But it's about what you do on the pitch as well. And I think actually on the pitch, and I know Bruno does it in his actions, but I think you need somebody, the captain, who demands that on the pitch as well. I think Harry is that person for me. But it's Ollie's standards, isn't it? It's what he expects from them. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Definitely. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. We could pay the bail 60% up front and the rest in installments. I see what you did there. I like that.
Nice.
It's just a crazy situation. When this happened, this transfer window obviously opened and the players went for a short break. None of us could have predicted that Harry Maguire would be arrested and be behind bars. Like, nobody would have thought that. Like, it's just a bizarre situation. Obviously, it doesn't look good on the club. But yeah, I think Harry Maguire, in terms of the captaincy, I think it will be the case where he'll be removed because of what's happened, because he should be a role model, as you mentioned. But in terms of selling him, like I said, I think people have got short memories, and until we know the facts, I don't think we should be making a judgment on it, if I'm honest. But it doesn't look good for the club, definitely.
We can't afford to sell him. We need a centre half. We can't afford to get rid of him.
We need a few players. We need a few players, mate. But talking about transfers, obviously Sancho's cousin, I think it was on Instagram, wasn't it? He posted, "I need to follow the Red Devils now," or wherever it was. I mean, what's your take on that, Nicole? Do you think Sancho, we will sign him? Because we were positive to start with. I've got to be honest, I'm not feeling that positive now.
I've gone from like woohoo to all the way down here. Honestly, I would not mind being wrong. I'm not. You girls know I'm not a negative person. I'm always like positive and belief and all this. Sometimes too much for my own good. But in this situation, I just feel like the longer it's going on and the more stories are made, like, oh, his cousin's posted it. This Red Devils thing, it wouldn't surprise me if that comes out that it's a blinking make of something, or a new trainer design or something. Like, I don't know. I get so emotionally invested in it, and then I have to back away to protect my sanity. So do I think we're going to sign him at this point? No. Would I love to be wrong? Yeah, but unfortunately, I just can't see it happening. And sadly, as I was saying to you before, the person that's going to take the blame for all this wrongly, eventually down the line, if we don't get any signings in, is Solskjaer. And it shouldn't be the case, because he has got into a situation, in the words of Elvis Presley, where it's now or never to act upon it and strengthen our squad. Like, he can't have made it any clearer that's what he needs to do. And I think if it comes back again on the manager, then we're just doomed, because that's not the issue. The issue is financially, and the fact that we can't afford to go into next season like we ended this season just gone. But at the same time, it seems like we can't afford players either, so we're just like stuck.
Yeah, I agree. Nick Morris makes a really good point. He says it's not even funny going on about Ed's house. He has kids, and how would you like it if someone done that to your house with kids in it? Yeah, obviously there's the chant, isn't it? Talk about Ed Woodward's going to die and whatnot. I don't know word for word, to be honest, because I think he's just sick. Like, the man, yes, he's frustrated, and we want to get more deals done. But threatening someone's life when he's got a family and young kids, I do not condone that at all, and I don't agree with it. I mean, Meg, what's your take on the whole transfer situation, or should I say lack of transfer situation? Do you think we're going to be getting players in, and do you agree with Nicole that maybe we just don't have the funds?
It is so frustrating to be sat here still talking about Sancho, having the deal not been done. I just think, like Nicole said, we were so happy about the rumours, and it was, the gossip was building, wasn't it? And we were all, it's going to happen, and now we're just like, still not happened. And the way that it looks, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I still have this small glimmer of hope that it's going to go through. Just a small glimmer of hope that I'm sat here thinking we could still do that. We're still there. It's still on the back burner, but it's not been completely done. Finished. So yeah. I think I'm still going with that small glimmer of hope that we're dragging it out like we did with the Bruno situation, like we did with the Maguire situation, and that he will still be a Manchester United player before the start of the season. Well, before the end of the transfer window, should I say.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, I've seen a few people commenting about Emma. Emma is in the chat. She just couldn't make it live today. So obviously go and subscribe to their channel, That United Family, and she'll be back with us next time. She is in the chat though. She's still there and thereabouts. Flawless, I like the confidence. He believes that Sancho is en route. Everybody relax, and I wish I was as confident as that. I'm a bit like Meg. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm feeling really confident. However, there is a little bit of a glimmer inside that thinks something is happening behind the scenes, and we're in for a nice surprise. But you can never fully trust Ed Woodward to get the deal across the line, unfortunately. And as mentioned, there is concerns there about how much money we actually do have to spend, to be honest. But yeah, I think with Sancho, that when Dortmund posted that picture, and I mentioned this on the last stream, when they posted it and saying you love to see, and Sancho there smiling, in my head I thought that's it, it's done. Because why would they wind their own fans up? I don't get, if Sancho was to leave now, surely there would be absolute uproar. Because why would you do that?
Imagine switching that up towards United fans, doing that with our player, and then a few weeks later they're gone. They would be absolute uproar. Yeah, it would be absolutely mental.
And I just can't see Dortmund winding their own fans up like that. I really can't. And that was a big turning point for me. But we know they've said stuff to the press in the past and they've put stuff out there and gone completely against the word, so it's not impossible. Thank you, Yashpal. Ladies, I think we have a transfer ban. Kevin from Eat Sleep United Repeat told us some fake news headlines. Pogba is our new signing. Yeah, of course, we've got Henderson coming back in. He's going to be like a new signing. Harry's going to be out of prison. He's going to be like a new signing. But no new signing still. Bruno's taking his penalty for him. He's going to be out soon.
I do think we need to see some people leave as well, though. Like, I think the financial situation in terms across the whole board, there's a lot of clubs that are only going to have, you know, not the mega amounts that they would be having. And I feel like we've got some players that would go for the 20 million to 30 million kind of zone. And I feel like if we do get rid of a couple of those, or we do have offers come in for those kind of players, perhaps that's when we all start seeing signings coming in for us. Perhaps we're waiting for those to go. I'm really trying hard to find an excuse for them. If I'm really honest.
Optimism.
I'm still there backing them.
I was saying to Nicole off camera, like, for mental health, I think the transfer window as a United fan is absolute torture. It's horrible. I'll try and stay away from it as much as I can, because I think you can get so sucked in and so hyped up, and as we know so many times, it just doesn't happen. And that's why I always advise people not to get too sucked in, and until they see the player holding that shirt up, don't believe anything, because United sell papers. I mean, there's the link, wasn't there, with Gabriel, who know. I mean, even Arsenal are signing players before us. That tells you a lot, doesn't it? But yeah, Gabriel's going to Arsenal, and apparently we were in too late for him. Obviously, we don't know how true that is. Yeah, I'm sure if we were genuinely interested, we'd have been in from the off, and that's my only point. I have to try and trust the board on that one. But I don't get why we leave it so late. I do not understand. Obviously, the season starts soon. We're going to get the players in as soon as possible. And I don't know why we wait so long. And I know it's not as easy as saying, yeah, I want Sancho done. I know there's a lot of paperwork and stuff involved in it, and clauses and whatnot. And Dortmund, they're obviously demanding money. But you look at Chelsea, you see the ambition they've got, the players they're signing, and it makes me worried for the season ahead, to be honest, Meg. I mean, how do you feel seeing Chelsea signing the players they're signing, and then look at us?
I feel like they've got their business dusted. They're going to sit back and then focus on the actual football rather than this pre-season focus on which players they're going to have. My only thing is with United, I feel like, in the past as well, we have targeted not just a footballer, but in terms of the whole player. We've targeted Harry Maguire because we needed a leader at the back. We've targeted Bruno, not just because of the way he plays, but because of what he's brought with him as well. So I'm hoping that we have put all our eggs in one basket and gone for the right players. So if we do get him, it's not like we're not chancing it on certain players. We are like targeting certain individuals to bring to the team. But when you do that, that's where the issue comes in, that other clubs will demand, this is how much we want, and we're not going to budge because we know that you have targeted only this one individual player. Yeah, I just think with Chelsea, they can sit back, relax almost, can't they? They're done.
We were linked with Douglas Costa as a replacement for Sancho. I mean, Nicole, would you take him?
I'm drained. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm just not even allowing myself to consider backup options when I don't even think we've fully covered the first option yet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm driving myself insane, because I'm like, oh, we'll just go after this player, we'll just go after this player. I think it would be contradictory for me to say, oh, we need to add depth to the squad, and then any time a name's brought into it, being like, oh no, that won't do. But at the same time, I'm just trying to, if I had an off button that I could turn off and then turn it on when we actually sign someone, I would. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I am getting more and more worried the closer we're getting to next season.
Yeah, I think it's too old for one. Injury prone is another one. I mean, Meg, what's your take on the Douglas Costa links? Do you think is a suitable replacement?
I think it's hard when you have got someone like Sancho as your first option to then start saying, well, exactly. we could have this. And it's like, well, we could have Sancho if you sorted the deal out, to then start being excited about, and we are all calling it a backup option, like plan B. It's like when you haven't fully gone through with Plan A, how can you then start being excited about Plan B? But I do understand where Nicole's coming from, because I'm starting to think, like, I've always said we need more players when we have been so, scrambled around to try and get like a starting 11 prior to Christmas, when we were so strapped on injuries, that then we're like, oh, well, we can't have him actually because we don't want that player, or we don't want this player. But I feel like it's not as an exciting option as it is for Sancho. I feel Sancho's a long-term option, whereas I think Costa's only a short-term temporary option.
Yeah, because of his age, it's not a long-term. I just hope we don't regret getting Sancho and then someone else comes in for him and then we're stuck. Do you know what? We've seen that situation before. I hope we don't miss out. But in terms of Sancho, do you genuinely think that is the only, if we do get anyone in, it's going to be Sancho? If we don't get Sancho, do you think that's the only player we're going for? Because we've mentioned we should be looking for quality and depth across the board. We've mentioned that a left-footed centre-back would be useful. Gabriel obviously is going to Arsenal. Can you see us bringing anyone else in? I mean, I'll be honest, I don't feel confident about anything. We've seen before that we've had signings out of the blue that nobody saw coming. I'm kind of hoping that happens. I've always mentioned Kante there. There's rumours that he's due to be let go by Chelsea. That's a good point. I've always said Kante, I think, would be perfect for us in that CDM. I mean, Nicole, you're nodding your head. Would you like
this is what I was saying the other day. I would take him all day, every day. I think his versatile is what we need. I know he's not one of the youngest players, but I think he's experienced, and I think I don't think we're in any position to be fussy. Of course, I understand Ole's saying, like, he only wants to bring in players that, like you were saying before, that fit the bill that he can envision in his team. But then at the same time, I think if these players become available, I think we'd be silly not to. I would take him in a heartbeat, but I'm not going to hold my breath, because if I hold my breath, I'll probably die.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, definitely not. I mean, Meg, Kante, yes or no? Would you take him? And by the way, I'm saying, would you? Because I can't see it happening, but would you take him if the possibility was there?
I feel like I'm going to be quite controversial. I'm not sure he would fit in the United squad. I'm not sure that he would be the player to be in that role for us. I don't know what, like,
who would you say is your dream signing for that CDM role then? Like, who would you be? Imagine you could get absolutely anyone in the world who would fit that bill perfectly.
I'm not saying, and I'll put this out here now, I'm not saying that Kante is not an unreal player, because I think the way that he breaks up the play is so good at doing his role. I just don't know. I just feel like he wouldn't be the player for Manchester United, and there's just something about it that doesn't sit comfortably with me. I don't know. I don't know who else. I don't know who else I would say would be it.
What about Ndidi?
I am stuck on that question.
No, it's fine. I did put you on the spot a little bit, to be fair, Meg. But I was just thinking if you had someone in mind. Ryan's mentioned Ndidi there, who I think, again, would be quality for us in the CDM. I think he's done a good job at Leicester. It's just something about Leicester, isn't it? They never seem to miss a beat when they're signing players. They always seem to, like, obviously Maguire went and they signed Lord Farquaad, Sancho to replace him. He was sub for his team he was at, mostly, I think, and they've signed him and he's doing decently well. I think Leicester never seem to miss, and Bayern Munich are an example. Obviously, we're playing tonight, and we're going to be previewing that in a minute. That's how you run top clubs for me. You sign the up-and-coming talent, generational talents like Sancho, that you spend your money on those players and you try and build them. And Leicester do that. Leicester, how many times? Kante is a good example. They signed someone who's pretty much unknown and transformed them into this player. They went on to win the World Cup and was playing at Chelsea. Leicester just do it right, and I think that's something we're missing on. I know director of football obviously would be useful, but yeah, it's frustrating is the word I'd use for United in this transfer window so far. I'm hoping that we have a nice surprise end to it, but do not get sucked into it like we've already mentioned, like the girls have mentioned as well. But in terms of tonight's Champions League final, get back to football for a little bit rather than talk about what could happen and what might happen with Maguire. Let's talk about football. What Champions League? I love watching the Champions League final, but I didn't watch it last year. I wonder why that was. So I'm looking forward to actually watching it this year. I mean, who are you fancying in this one? I'll start with you, Meg. Are you going to go Bayern or PSG? And what's your predictions?
I am going to go for Bayern. I think if Bayern don't win, I think it's an upset. in my head, that's where I'm going for. I think Bayern are going in favourites because I think they have wiped the floor with the majority of teams that they've played. But if PSG attack, if their attack switches it on, then it's all, they can do damage to any defenders. But for me, I'm going for Bayern, and I'm going to go. Both teams will score. I'd love a game like Barcelona with that many goals, but I think I'm going to go for a 3-2, 3-2 or 4-2.
I think
I'm going to go for 4-2. I just want to see goals.
And I'm just excited to see the talent on the pitch. I agree with George here. I want Bayern Munich to win, but I love watching Mbappe play. I love watching when Neymar turns up. Like, he's such a baller. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
they're so good.
Good. And I'm just excited. And Alphonso Davies is another player who I'm really excited by. And for a defender, it's very rare I get excited by a defender, but I just think he's something special. And this is a good point. Davies against Mbappe foot race is going to be an interesting one because they are both absolutely rapid as well. Make sure you get your predictions for the game in the chat as well, boys.
There's a lot of Bayern fans in tonight. All I'm seeing is Bayern.
I just want to see Di Maria sobbing at the end of the game. I'm not going to lie. I just want to see him crying at the end of the game. And I know I shouldn't say that.
Hissing.
Yeah, hissing, curling up into a little ball. I don't care. Like, I just don't want to see him lifting that trophy, to be honest, Nicole. What's your predictions for it? And I'm guessing you're going with us for the Munich.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think no matter what, it's going to be a decent watch for a neutral. But then again, these finals we're going to be neutrals in a lot of these if things continue the way they're going. I want to see goals. I don't think we'll quite see as many as the Barcelona game. I'm with Meg a little bit. I think it's going to be close, and I think Munich. If Bayern Munich do start off how they have been doing on the front foot and just go out attack, I think they will just pip it and maybe a 3-1 or a 3-2.
Yeah, I think both teams will score. I agree with you too. I think there's too much quality going forwards for both teams. Lewandowski is a player that I've loved forever. I think he's awesome, and I think he's very underrated in terms of world football, to be honest with you, but I think he's incredible. So I think there'll be goals at both ends. We've already mentioned Neymar and Mbappe. But yeah, I say both teams to score. I'm going to go a bit like you. I'm going to say a 3-2. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree. I think Meg said 3-2. I think Bayern Munich will just tip it. I think they're just such a force. And you look at the quality they can bring on the likes of Coutinho as well, who's been chipping in with the goals. The goals everywhere in that side. And I just think they're quality all over the team. But both teams to score is what I fully expect. But I would love to see a bit like the Barcelona game because that was incredible. Just end to end, fearless goals.
My heart couldn't take it. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, we used to see the scrappy 1-0, a penalty from Bruno or something like that. Yeah. That's why this is what football should be. That's what we want to see.
That game, though, Bayern looked dangerous on every single attack. Like, I was sat there watching it thinking they'll score on this attack.
They're going to score on every single one of it.
Because they looked so good going forward. They literally wiped Barcelona's defence out. You looked at the press. They couldn't get out. Every time they won the ball back, they were going. It was just a joke from Barcelona. But on the other foot, Bayern Munich was so good. And the way that they played was just fluent.
Yeah, it was. Mystery, John, the United Way, 265 watching Well Legends. Slap a like if you're joining the ladies with red. Yeah, guys, please hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. Wesley's just slapped a like. I love that, Wesley. Thank you very much. George Cole's mentioned Gnabry. I cannot get my head around this. Right, Tony Pulis at West Brom said that Gnabry wasn't good enough to play for West Bromwich Albion. He shoved him on the bench week in, week out, and he's now banging him in for Bayern Munich in the Champions League. He's going to be in the final. Please, someone explain to me how a player can go from leaving Arsenal, going to West Brom, not even playing for West Brom, and now starts for Bayern Munich and is playing the way that he is playing. Can someone please try and get some clarity on that?
This is why when you ask me about players, I never say straight up no.
That's taking your chances, though, isn't it? Every time he played, he must have just took his chance, an opportunity to showcase himself. And now look at him. Like, as a player, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be able to turn it on every time you get an opportunity, whether you start or whether you come on, that you go out there and showcase what you can do, not just individually as well, but for the entire team. And now look at him, Champions League final. potential winner.
People said it's because of the players around him. What do you mean? He had Chris Brunt around him at West Bromwich Albion. He had plenty to work with. I'm joking. No, of course the players around him have helped him. I completely agree with that. I just want to touch on the Europa League. Obviously, I did watch the final reluctantly. Obviously, I was not being in there. I've seen Lukaku's got a lot of stick. I think it's a bit harsh after the amount of goals Lukaku has scored this season, if I'm totally honest. And I was one of the first to criticise him at United, but you can't deny that he's gone to Italy. And never doubted his goal scoring ability. It was more his actual footballing ability that got to me. But I mean, what a game that was. Sevilla winning that trophy yet again. They just know how to do it, don't they? And did it make you guys feel a bit better that we went out to the winners in the end? I mean, Nicole, did you watch the final?
I watched the second. I think the first half I was sorting the kids out or something like that. But I was just so glad, first of all, that we could say at least we went out to the eventual winners, and second of all, because every man and his dog was like, oh, I bet United wish you never let Lukaku go now and everything. And when that ball touched his foot and went in for the opposition, no disrespect to him, because I wish him the best and I've never sent him abuse, but it did make me feel a little bit better. And as a United fan, I'm going to take any little bit of that feeling that I can get. So yeah, I think it was a fair result in the end. And I think it is unfortunate for Lukaku. I think he got most of the stick as well, because so much was put on him about United that United fans then kind of made it on him, where it wasn't him that was saying it was everyone else, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
but yeah.
I think with Lukaku as well, like, he left, and to be fair, he's been nothing but respectful when he's talking about United. I would much rather Di Maria banging an own goal today and the lose the Champions League because of that. Then I would take more satisfaction from it. Do you know what I mean? Because
I'd be buzzing.
No disrespect to us, yeah. Reese, thank you so much for the super chat. Hoping Bayern break the goal scoring record by Barca tonight. Bayern currently on 42 goals. Barca scored 45. Well, we all predicted that Bayern, I think we're going to score 3 or 4 goals. We predicted. They do get that, yeah.
Can I ask a controversial question?
Yeah.
What colour is this shirt that we've got on? It didn't even look the same on mine in your screen. What colour is it?
I would say it's like a dark green. Is what
That's what I think.
Dark green.
Look.
It looks very black on the screen. With like,
yeah, it does.
Like the darker bits look black and the lighter bits look grey.
If I had something black to put next to it, you'd see that it wasn't black, but I don't have anything black.
309 watching.
Cheers, Nicole.
Guys, if you are brand new, please do that subscribe.
No.
Appreciate it. Abul says I'm wearing it. It's navy green. Yeah, so I'd say it's like a dark green. Definitely, that's what I would go with. But it's definitely one that's up for debate. It's like in different lights. It looks different.
Have you ever seen? Well, I know you have, because I'm pretty sure I sent it in the chat. Colour. You know that the dress or the flip-flops or the trainers that are different colours, and everyone's like, oh, it's pink or it's blue or it's grey and it's white. I feel like this is the shirt, that this is now the next round of those kind of things that get sent round.
Get
like,
in the chat, is it grey, is it black, is it green? Tell us.
Yeah, let us know what you think. But obviously, Arsenal leaked their shirt, didn't they? The away one, the white with like the blood splatter kind of thing on it. The leak for our kit, the stripes. I mean, it suits. It suits the situation where we've got a convict in our team right now. To be fair, that's what I will say. But I mean, honest opinion, girls, I like different shirts. I like shirts that are a bit out there and a bit different. But that one, I mean, it's the shorts as well, which is what I've seen.
We got mugged off. We've been mugged off by that. They have sold us out on that. I'm sorry, how are they getting that as a third kit? Or a away kit or whatever, and we've got that monstrosity. We got absolutely mugged off.
It's horrible. I mean, Nicole, what's your thoughts on that leaked stripy? Well, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest.
My thoughts is it's not for me. I think the home kit this year was a grower for me. At first, I know there was 2 different versions, but the actual one, it was a grower. This one was a shower. Because as soon as I seen this, I was like, I want it. I was in the chat with you, girl. I was like, guess what I'm getting? And you was like, oh, we'll never know. But then the third one is just a definite, I think you either love it or you hate it. And I hate it.
I hate it.
I think unless you're a little kid, no.
I'd actually really like the travel attire.
Stunning. Yes. I'd rather would have had that for something similar to that for the third.
Yeah, just a twist on that.
So if it looks a bit like Roma, I really like it. But it looks a bit like Roma, doesn't it?
Yeah. And yes, I have seen the Bristol City goalkeeping kit. both of them. I said
What's
it to
your
the
thought on
girls.
that one?
Different colours.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, they're going to stand out.
True.
No one's going to look the same as them.
True. No, I think the stripy shirt, look, I think we're playing black shorts and black socks. Could have been all right.
But the
when I saw
shorts,
these stripy shorts, I was
that's what
like,
killed me off.
No.
So
Yeah.
we're going to be galloping across the pitch. Galloping, mate.
I just hope we hypnotise the opposition. Do you know what I mean? I hope that's what they're going for. Some kind
Maybe
of
it's like a confusion technique, so that the opposition are looking at it and like, oh.
Yeah, because Nike released those hypnosis boots in the tempos, and they were like black and white. And I'm guessing that's what they're going for, trying to hypnotise the opposition. Because we can't beat them, why not try and hypnotise them? Look into my eyes, look into my eyes. You know, that's little Britain. That's what we're going for.
You can tell that United fans have lost the plot at this point. Welcome.
Well, the facts are, we should be sitting here talking about what players we've brought in, what players we've let go, and we're sat here talking about a disgusting kit. Harry Maguire fighting with someone in Greece. Like, it's just been a mess so far. It's been shambolic, hasn't it? So I'm hoping that,
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, hopefully we get a lift at some point. But yeah, so you're saying Bayern Munich are going to win the Champions League. You're feeling confident on that one. I'm hoping you're right on that as well. Girls, I must say, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. These ladies in reds will continue, even though we're not playing football at the moment. As you've seen today, there's plenty to talk about, and hopefully not always kits, but yeah, talking about the scandals, hopefully talking about incomings and outgoings too. Doug, thank you so much for the super chat. The third kit would look great if you are a zebra. I agree. But girls, I'll start with you, Nicole. Just let people know where they can find you and give you a follow.
The United She Stands Twitter and Instagram, and follow Real Ladies in Red. We've got a giveaway coming up, and the shirt is getting sent out to me on Monday, so watch your space.
And then Meg, if you could check out and let people know where they can find you as well.
You can find me on @MegWilt. You can also find me on @RealLadiesInRed. You can go and find not only mine, but mine went up today, but the other girls' answers to the 5 quick questions. And if you don't know about chicken lasagna, you need to learn about chicken.
You're about to know.
Good old steak.
So find Meg in the pub.
We know you well, Meg. We know you well. No, but girls, as always,
I've got priorities.
Oh, my mum. Thank you as always. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Absolutely madness on the views today. Please all hit that like button if you've enjoyed the content. Really appreciate it. As always, my channel is nothing without you guys, so appreciate it. Hopefully you all go on and have a fantastic evening and enjoy the Champions League final. Come on, Bayern Munich. Definitely going for Bayern in this one. And I feel pretty confident that they're going to win. Hopefully some positive news regarding United in the transfer window in the days to come. Fingers crossed, but as we've said, do not get too sucked in. Until they're holding the shirt up, do not believe anything. And guys, all that's left to say is keep smiling, stay positive. We'll see you very, very soon. Take care and hit that sub button if you like the content. Cheers.